Hello YouTube, this is James Liu from Liu Strength and Therapy, and in this video, I'll be going over a simple 10-minute stretching and flexibility routine for the sport of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. The main purpose of this video is to help you increase your overall flexibility and mobility to decrease the chances of injury and promoting longevity in the sport. It is also important to note that these stretches can either be done dynamically with movement or statically without movement. If you are using this routine before training, it is recommended to perform these stretches dynamically. If done after a workout or during a rest day, performing this routine can be done both dynamically or statically. These stretches can be held anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds and is dependent on your overall flexibility. The general rule of stretching is to stretch to the point of tension, not pain. The first stretch is a hip flexor opener. Kneel on one leg and lunge the opposite leg forward. Reach the same side arm overhead with the thumb facing backwards. Tilt the pelvis backwards by squeezing the glutes until a stretch is felt. The hip flexor opener mainly stretches the quadriceps and the hip flexors. This is an extremely important stretch as the sport of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu requires the hip flexors to be constantly recruited and are often found overworked. The next stretch is the butterfly stretch. Sit on the ground and place the soles of the feet together. Pull both feet in towards the hip and let the knees drop down as far as possible. Lift the chest towards the ceiling while slowly hinging forward from the hips. The butterfly stretch targets the deep muscles of the adductors and hamstrings. It is also very useful for anybody that has trouble opening up their hips in guards such as butterfly guard and X guard. The next stretch is the V hamstring stretch. Sit on the ground with both legs extended and pointed outwards. Keep the chest pulled towards the ceiling and place both hands on the ground. Slowly hinge forward from the hips until a gentle stretch is felt. This stretch focuses on stretching the hamstrings, adductors, and calves. It is also very useful for anybody that plays spider guard that experiences tight hamstrings. The next stretch is the pigeon stretch. Place one leg in front of you and bend to roughly 90 degrees. Extend the opposite leg backwards while keeping the chest up and tall. Slowly lower the hips towards the ground until a gentle stretch is felt. The pigeon stretch targets the deep gluteal muscles and is one of the most practical stretches in the sport of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It is useful for individuals that have limited flexibility in their hips while playing lasso guard. The next stretch is the seated hip twist stretch. Sit on the ground with both legs fully extended in front of you. Cross one leg over the other and rotate away from the knee. Place the back of the elbow on the knee and gently rotate away. This stretch targets the muscles that connect to the spine that are responsible for rotational movements. It is perfect for anybody experiencing limited rotation during hip escapes and scrambles. The next stretch is the seated internal rotation stretch. Start by sitting on the ground with both legs bent in front of you. Drop both knees towards the ground and create a 90-degree angle on both knees. While keeping the chest upright, focus on having the torso facing towards the trailing leg. This stretch targets the deep gluteal muscles along with the hip capsule. It can also help improve hip internal rotation, which is very important for hip longevity in the sport of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. The next stretch is Child's Pose. Kneel on the ground on both knees and place both hands on the floor. Lower the torso towards the ground while letting the chest sink downwards. Imagine reaching the arms forward and extending the spine until a stretch is felt. This stretch targets the latissimus dorsi and glutes while providing a gentle mobilization to the spine. It is very useful for individuals that often use techniques such as the berimbolo and inverting. The next stretch is the frog stretch. Start by kneeling on the ground and placing both hands on the floor. Spread both legs outwards so that the inside of the knees are touching the ground. Slowly lower the hips to the floor until a gentle stretch is felt. This stretch targets the adductors, which often get tight from training, which can limit your guard retention ability. It is also very useful for people that have limited flexibility in guards such as butterfly guard and X guard. The last stretch is the lying crossover stretch. Start by laying flat on your back and cross one knee over the opposite leg. Place the same side hand on the knee and gently push towards the ground. Keep the opposite arm flat on the ground while having both shoulder blades on the floor. This stretch targets the muscles of the lower back and glutes. It is great for people that experience chronic lower back pain or have poor hip and lower back mobility. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. See you guys next time.